Good morning. It was a very successful Friendsgiving last night. If you haven't done Friendsgiving tradition, you should start getting into it. It's awesome. There's one more for this year, but it's actually after Thanksgiving itself, so I've had 2 Friendsgivings so far, then Thanksgiving, then we'll have one more Friendsgiving. It's a lot of eating. I'm already fat, but the food was delicious. The company of my friends tasted even better. So, here I am chilling with Shadow. It's early in the morning. I'm talking to a cute girl that I met last night. Well, actually, I didn't meet her last night, but I met her like briefly before that. But I met her really last night. So that's pretty awesome. I love good looking women. You're all beautiful to me, baby. So, this is an old movie, but it's new to me. Well, it was new to me until I watched it recently. I'm going to have to give this one a rewatch. It's called Memento. Now, Guy Pearce is the vehicle that's driving this film. I knew I liked Guy Pearce. And the reason I knew that was because I watched a movie called The Proposition when I was young. And I remember liking The Proposition. And I thought he was awesome in it. He was the best part of it. So, I knew coming into this movie that I was going to probably enjoy his performance because he's a strong actor. And I did. I loved his performance in this movie. He actually reminds me a lot in this film of a friend I had named Rob, who unfortunately is no longer with us. Rest in peace, my brother. I love you. He just has like a easy smile and a nonchalant way about him, but an also immediate, intense seriousness that it reminds me of my friend so much that I found myself endeared to his character, even though I knew he might not be the best person. He wasn't the worst person, but obviously he wasn't the best person either. It's a seemingly complicated film. So, the way this movie works is, I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you have never seen it, this is not really going to be like a spoiler, but because I'm not going to tell you anything about the story. I'm just going to tell you how the film works because it's very interesting. Now, there's a black and white timeline and there's a color timeline. So, the black and white timeline is like the distant past. Well, not distant, but the past. And some of it may be somewhat distant. And so, the black and white scenes are the past moving forward. Now, the color scenes are the present, which is disoriented because the guy has developed amnesia. The colored scenes are the present, but each scene moves in chronological order backwards. So, the two ends of the story are working towards each other and they kind of meld into the middle, and then that's where your conclusion of what you don't know what happened, that's where it's hidden. So I thought that was very clever. I mean, this is an older movie. I want to say it's a 90s movie, maybe early 2000s or something, but I've never seen it. And is it a Fincher film? It might be. I'm not. I should start caring more about that stuff. It will help me determine who my favorites are. So yeah, I'll start paying more attention to that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure exactly who this is. It might be a Fincher film. but it's it's put together in such a unique fashion that, for me personally, I think that kind of storytelling is excellent. I love it written into text, and I love it on a screen done well, which this thing was orchestrated incredibly, just like delicately. So, that being said, uh, um, the sound in it, when you're in in the color events, the sounds are moving forward as the frame shot is like moving in reverse. So it gives you this sense of disorientation, like you don't really know what's going on, because the main character has this sense of disorientation, and he's not supposed to know what's going on, or he doesn't seem like he's able to know what's going on. So that it it makes it, I don't want to say hard to pay attention to the movie, because I didn't have a problem paying attention to the movie. I had a problem trying to piece it all together. And so I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that it's a complex movie that I'm going to have to watch more than one time to really give any kind of like truly accurate review. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that, maybe like a second watch series. I'll start listing off the movies that I think might need a second viewing for me to actually truly understand what happened. Or I'll read a few different pieces of analysis before I watch it, so when I go back in, I'll have, maybe a broader mind to think of what I'm looking at. But this is a cool movie. It's, make no mistakes, like, you can try to look at it as a straightforward flick, but it really just isn't, because as you tie all the threads of it together, I'm sure there were a lot of things that were maybe clearly exposed that I didn't pick up on because of the complexity of trying to follow the story, which was not convoluted. It was not an indecipherable story or anything like that. It was just told in a convoluted fashion. It was a solid story that ended up giving you all the elements that you needed to really piece it together. It's just the complexity between the sight, the sound, and the plot line leaves you grasping at so many straws as you're watching it, that I think if I watched it maybe 3 times, paid attention to the sound, watched it a second time, paid attention to the plot, just let the rest go, one more time and just watched the videography of it and tried to pick out little pieces in the sides of the screen or whatnot, because some movies just have a lot, they're just rife with symbolism. The Kubrick stuff, I almost can't wait to do like The Shining. That's coming up soon here. Holy crap, I need to do that. The Shining, such a good movie. It really is. I actually thought it outshined the book, as much as people don't agree with that. I think it did. Well, here I'm talking about The Shining. I'm actually supposed to be talking about Memento. So, Memento. I'm going to give this movie a 9.5. I think that it might go up or down a half a point. So it might end up getting a 10 on a rewatch. It might end up getting a 9 on a rewatch. It kind of depends how I take it that second time. But when I do a rewatch, I'm probably going to do a re-video for it. So I'm going to make that a different part of a series, but I won't bother doing it until I have some movies in that jumble. I also think about doing some other new things, but we'll see how it goes. Until then, I bid you fond adieu. Like I said, get together with some of your friends during the holiday seasons. It staves off depression, helps make you a happier person, and ultimately it makes your life more fulfilling. Have a good day.